So I don't think I've stated it at all on my channel before, but I am a massive advocate on kids not being able to be on the internet. And we've seen in that recent bill that I think is being passed in, I can't remember exactly what state in America. Was it? I think it was like, it was down south. I think it was like Florida or Texas, where there's a bill that's being trying to be passed. At least I don't think it's officially been passed. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, because I know I just briefly looked at it. I was going to make a video about it, but I decided not to because I think I decided to make a video about something else. But there was a bill that's being passed in one of the states in America where 14, if you're like below the age of 14, you are not allowed to be on any social media whatsoever. And to me, I'm a massive advocate for that. I am 100% of an advocate for that. I do not think that social media platforms, I even think that it should be 16. Honestly, I think that 14 years of age is too fucking low. I'm going to be honest here. I think that you should be 16 years or older until you're allowed to be anywhere near a social media platform, because they can be toxic towards a young child's mind. Like, it can fluctuate a child, the way that they think, the way that they act in such a terrible way that they can grow up to be horrible people. And I honestly think that they should be nowhere near social media whatsoever. And this right here is a great fucking example of why kids should not be anywhere near social media. Is because they grow up to be like this kid that I'm about to show in a video. They grow up to be like him, and then they grow up to put themselves on the fucking internet. Now, there's this 14-year-old kid. He got banned on Kick recently because he was live streaming on Kick. That's right, a 14-year-old was live streaming on Kick, doing an IRL stream, going around and randomly harassing people.
This guy right here. Actually, don't do it. Taking that bitch food.
Tell him.
She can go fuck herself. Hey,
No, hey, they're saying
what the fuck?
Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that.
Hey,
You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you
Stop
are?
filming me.
You're a nobody. You're
It's a live stream. You can't stop it.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Give me the phone.
Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something.
Are you
about
gonna
it.
beat me up?
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will. I want to
done.
go.
How old are you?
You think I give a
5?
flying fuck? You think I give a flying fuck?
Honestly, I'm not mad at that woman whatsoever. If I was that woman, the moment that he fucking grabbed a chip out of my fucking bowl, I would have been on his back and I would have fucking gotten that little kid in the headlock. I don't care what you could have charged me for it, but I would have gotten that kid in a fucking headlock. Because honestly, it seems like he would have deserved some kind of headlock, or maybe like a couple slaps to the face. And now we're gonna break this down a little bit in terms of like whose fault it kind of is. Because it's obviously, you know what, as much when they're 14 years of age, you can't really blame kids that much for their behavior. I definitely think that there are some kids who are just born complete assholes. Like, you know, there was always that one kid in primary school when you were really young, and he was just a straight cunt. He was just a straight asshole. He could have the nicest family, nicest parents, but for some reason, he grew up to be a dick. So there are some special cases where some kids are just, when they grow up, they're just born to be a complete dick. But majority of the time, it is not actually the kid's fault. It is where they're raised and the things that they grow up with. Now, there is multiple things that can be blamed for the way that this kid acts. And I'm going to go through a couple of them right here. And the first one, to me, extremely fucking obvious, is that his parents didn't fucking raise this kid right. What? This, to me, is one of the definitions of fatherless behavior. I mean, we see fatherless behavior be put around a lot on the internet these days. And to me, like, I think a lot of the times people just say it to kind of take the piss out of people, like when they're just being complete idiots on the internet, or, you know, especially when it comes to OnlyFans girls, they call them fatherless behavior. But to me, this is 100% fatherless behavior. This to me seems like a kid, he didn't grow up with good fucking parents. Whether he grew up with only one parent and that parent wasn't able to raise them properly, or he grew up with two parents who are fucking terrible at parenting. Also, when it comes to parenting as well, I'm not a parent myself. Listen, I'm not a parent. I don't ever plan to be a parent. This is one of the reasons why, is because, you know, I don't think I'd be able to raise a kid well in this day and age. Honestly, that's a personal thing. I don't think that I'd be a good dad. I don't think that I'd be a good dad. And I think that there's too many people out there who just will randomly, like, decide to have kids when you look at them, obviously, and you look at them and you're like, this person should not be able to have kids. This person should not have kids. When it comes to having kids, when it comes to being a parent, I think that a lot of parents these days don't discipline their kids enough. And I'm not talking about how back in the day where if your kid messed up, you fucking grab him and you start whipping his ass with a belt. I mean, that's kind of a bit too... Maybe that's a bit too far when you're like, fully whapping your child with a belt. But you know what? Sometimes I think the kid needs a couple little backhanders, maybe just in the back or in the bum, or kid needs to be told off. Because from this, like, I would never even dare at the age of 14 to randomly just harass people on the street, or just go ahead and take some food out of some random person's bowl. If I had to do that, my mum would have beat my ass. My dad would have beat my ass. That would have been like, the fuck did you do? You took food out of someone else's bowl while you were walking past? That's it. Come here. You're gonna fucking get it. That's what would happen to me. This kid obviously wasn't brought up with no discipline whatsoever. He probably wasn't even told no his whole entire life either. One of the other reasons that you can blame this for, and it kind of goes back to the parents, because they are letting him consume this type of content. But at the same time, I think that it is, to somewhat extent, is the people who make that content, and it has to do with other creators on the internet that do this shit. I've talked many times about Jack Doherty and Neon, about how their content is complete horseshit and how it literally caters to children. Like this, I can bet your ass that this kid watches Jack Doherty, Neon, or any other creator that's similar to like them, where all they do is this IRL content and just complete dicks, and he's probably like one of their biggest fans. This is one of these. This right here is a Jack Doherty fan. This is a Jack Doherty fan in fucking effect, going ahead harassing people on the street and thinking it's completely funny. And this is what I've said multiple times, is that we can't have creators like this. And I honestly think that creators who go around harassing people, now I'm glad that Kick has banned this person right here, but they've probably banned him because he's a 14-year-old. But I could bet your ass that if this kid was of age, if he was in his 20s, they wouldn't ban him whatsoever. They would have just gone like, oh yeah, he's just one of our creators being an asshole, but that's absolutely fine. Like we see Vitaly, yeah, he's been doing some like catching predators recently, but even then, I've seen some of his recent clips is where he's going up and he's trying to hit on women, and at times he just like keeps on going. When I obviously tell him like, hey, can you fuck off? We're having these type of creators on the internet. They are affecting this generation. It's bad enough that their parents are shit, so that they go to social media because their parents don't want to pay attention to them. And then when they do go on social media, they're attracted to complete fucking idiots. And this is how they turn out. Like complete idiots. Because if they're going to watch stupid content, they're going to grow up to be fucking stupid. Like, I have no faith in the next generation. Like, my generation, I'm Gen Z, believe it or not. I was born in 98, so I am like near the start of Gen Z. And Gen Z, you can say that Gen Z is bad. Like, Gen Z, yeah, I admit it. We're bad, and especially some of the people in Gen Z that are younger than me, like the early 2000s or even like the mid 2000s, yeah, they're bad. But the next generation, Gen Alpha, is what it is, and I think that's like 2012 and above. I think that's what Gen Alpha is. That generation, they're fucked. I'm just saying it right now. They're fucked. Like, they're gonna grow up in a terrible world because of previous generations. And they're going to grow up to be fucking terrible people. And also, they're going to grow up to be fucking complete idiots. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Idiocracy. Now, I think I saw it when I was extremely younger. It's from like a movie back in 2006, but I still know what this movie is about. Is pretty much, to summarize it up, is that this guy, from what I can remember off the top of my head, is that this guy basically gets cryo-freezed or gets put into cryosleep, and he gets put into cryosleep for too long. Like, apparently he gets put into cryosleep for too long. He wakes up in the year 2500. And when he wakes up in that year, everyone in the future is fucking dumb. Like, he gets woken up and he's claimed to be the smartest man alive. That's how, like, the world has gone completely fucking stupid. And you know what? At the time when that movie got released, everyone was like, haha, this is like a very funny, stupid little movie. But every single year that goes past, I start to become more and more worried about how that movie might actually be true. Like, we're supposed to be moving towards like a better future with more technology, and we're supposed to be more advanced as a human race than we have ever been. But you know what? Idiocracy? I don't think it's that far off. And I'm kind of worried for future generations. I'm honestly worried. Especially when I see shit like this and kids acting like complete fucking idiots. It makes me worried. It makes me extremely worried. But I'd like to hear what you guys have to think about this down below. That's it from me. Peace out.